Hello everybody and welcome to Africa Tech Festival 2023, the 26th annual event. I see that many people are still at the back and there are spaces here, so come on down. Welcome to the auditorium. Ask guys to move along and you can get seated. My name is James Williams. I'm the event director for Informa Tech, and it's a pleasure to be back in Cape Town with you all for so many reasons. It's such a unique date in the calendar to catch up with the ecosystem and explore all the opportunities for the future. Thousands of these conversations will take place over the next week. It's why we exist, and it's what makes the event so special. 2023 is very much a return to scale for Africa Tech Festival. We've seen record registration, 450 speakers, 2 exhibitions packed with world-leading brands from the continent and beyond. The story of African tech in 2023 has been one of new challenges. A slowing global economy and tech layoffs have meant that startups have received just around 50% of that level in 2022, with reverberations across the continent and across sector. That squeeze, though, has largely been macro-driven by the global economy, and there are strong signals that the next decade will be that of the emerging market. No emerging market is better placed to take advantage of that than Africa. The continent's projected GDP growth in 2024 is 3.9%, against contracting growth in many developed and developing markets. A larger, wealthier consumer, largely urban class now spends $1.9 trillion a year, up from more than doubling since 2005 and expected to be 2.5 trillion by the end of the decade. By 2030, Africa will have the world's largest working age population of around 1 billion people and adding 300 million workers in a period that labour markets in other competitive markets are declining. The stats are breathtaking, but outside of potential, don't mean much. They'll continue to mean very little if Africa's workforce isn't trained and skilled, and if the businesses and startups don't have access to finance and global markets. We're talking about potential to practice, and it's a key theme of Africa Tech Festival 2023 and beyond. One thing not often enough part of that conversation is brand Africa. What investors see when they look at the continent is inextricably linked to investment. Is it the entrepreneurial, collaborative, relentless spirit, or an outdated image of a corrupt continent playing catch-up? To us, it's obviously the former. And updating the image is something we're passionate about. The best way that we can fulfill that role and drive change is by being a forum for the success stories of businesses, individuals, and projects using tech to deliver socio-economic development and enterprise excellence. It's why you're all here this week. We all have a role to play in that, to ensure we're not talking about potential in 10 years. Instead, talking about Africa as a leader in governance, green energy, fintech, and startup innovation, because the fulfillment of that potential is not promised. ATF has evolved with the continent's shifting tech landscape since 1997, taking the goal to connect, educate, and celebrate African tech and African innovation to heart. An important evolution this year is the launch of our startup feature, Africa Ignite, as we grow it into the third pillar of the event alongside AfricaCom and AfricaTech. This year, Africa Ignite has 2 content stages across the next 3 days, an investor lounge, hackathon, pitch competition, and more startup pods than ever, to reflect the importance of the entrepreneurial sector as an engine for growth. Other things to look out for this week are the AfricaCom streams exploring telco and connectivity, our EQL Her Lounge dedicated to women in tech, an awards ceremony back at full scale on Wednesday night, and of course, the A-Fest party tonight, our official party. You can expect live music, good food, and even better company. It's the perfect way to unwind after day one. It's at the Old Biscuit Mill by the foreshore from 7 p.m. tonight. You can get tickets at the CTICC registration desk, All of those, other than free visitors, have a free pass and a free ticket, and anyone else with that free visitor can buy a ticket. We're also running shuttles from the Western entrance to the Biscuit Mill tonight from 6:30, and the return trip from 11 to 12 as well. So have a look out for that and hope to see you there. As we look to 2024, there are a few exciting developments I wanted to mention. In AfricaTech, our enterprise transformation pillar, we're launching a zoned exhibition, allowing sponsors to sit alongside their peers, customers and partners most critical to their business while remaining at the heart of the action. There'll be content stages on fintech, data centers, cloud, the future of work, and of course, artificial intelligence. We'll have more industry-specific content and features exploring the challenges and opportunities for C-suite across the ecosystem, and a new immersive tech demo zone to showcase the latest innovations in action. On the AfricaCom side, charting the story of telecoms and connectivity evolution, there'll be content deep dives on digital infrastructure, fiber, 5G, all around the theme of reliable, affordable internet for all. Back to this year, a few final bits. One very important thing that we are getting people used to every year is that we don't have printed agendas. So your portal to the whole event for the next few days is the Swap Card app. And you can download it from your app store by searching Informa Tech events and navigating to Africa Tech Festival. It's got AI matchmaking, all our attendees are on there, and obviously you can build your own agenda as well throughout the week and get notifications on that. Final couple of bits, I really wanted to thank our sponsors for 2023. We're lucky enough to be supported by world leaders dedicated to progress on the continent. And a special thanks to the City of Cape Town, to Westgrow, and of course to the DCDT, who will be here to speak on the agenda this morning. A personal thank you too to the Africa Tech Festival team. Hopefully there's a few of you in here. 14 agendas, 17 features, 2 exhibitions, 450 speakers. It's a lot of work, and none of which exists without you guys, so thank you. Final couple of bits, please take notice of the fire exits at the back and the bottom of the room. And without further ado, I'm pleased to welcome our chair for day one headline keynotes, an amazing woman who's dedicated her career to much of the bits that we've just talked about and that are coming across the next week. Please give a warm welcome to Miss Miriam Altman.